What's going on, everybody? Man, Eric Wilson, Sports Arena. Let me first start by saying I want to publicly apologize to the New York Jets. The New York Giants, because I have no clue what my coaching staff is doing. I have no clue what my head coach is doing. And quite frankly, there's too many injuries for me to even really give a damn. So I apologize to the Giants. I know we had one job to do tonight, simply beat Washington, give y'all the opportunity to host a playoff game. But this is ridiculous. The fact that the score was 17-14, and we took out Jalen Hurts. I don't see him being injured. There's been no talk of what the hell's going on, but they brought in Nate Sudfeld. For what reason, I have no idea. I have no clue. So allow me to also congratulate the Washington football team. I know the game's not over yet, but clearly, in fact, that this team is the better team. And congratulations to them. They get to host a playoff game next week. I'll get my man Mike Caratenuto in here.
I am sick. I mean, outside the Cowboys loss, I am absolutely sick. Yes, because I despise the Washington team like a nanometer more than I despise your Eagles team. You take Jalen Hurts out, and Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth were talking about how when they talked to Doug Peterson, how, if they asked him if it was close, would we see him? And he didn't really answer, and we see him. Look, if I'm the Giants, it comes down to two things, Eric. A, you have to win your games. But exactly. B, here's the thing. I say this every week to you and Alex, and I know Alex and I and Jake and I have gone more so back and forth than you and I throughout time because, like I always say, it's the NFL. These dudes are in the NFL for a reason. Yes, I always concede, as you know, there's a difference in talent between your first string tackles that you and I have on our team, that the Cowboys have had, I should say, that the Eagles have had. There's a difference between the first string and the third string that we're both playing with now. Our teams are playing with now. That being said, if I'm the Giants, yes, I'm annoyed we lost Saquon Barkley because, look, to me, if Saquon Barkley didn't tear his ACL this year, they walk away with the division. Clearly. That's just my opinion. You're right.
I agree.
Yeah. But if I'm the Giants, like after coaching hires happen, I promise you, I am breaking down Eagles film from this season, as long as Doug Peterson stays, whatever, which I think he should. But
I disagree. I go ahead. I'll get mine. Go ahead. Get yours.
Okay, no. As childish, I don't know. If I'm the Giants next year, if I go 2-14, not that I think they will, but my 2 wins would be by over 50 points against the Eagles. I would break down every inch of film, have notes. It would be like constantly in my head of all their tells, everything, and I would make sure I pounded them because you take Jalen Hurts out, who missed. Okay. He was getting pressured late, that wide open touchdown pass, and I'm not saying it to rub it into you, but I know that killed you too because I couldn't believe he missed him or the ball skipped in. But you take him out and you just give a team a game, and that's my whole point to the whole, talent, and it's the NFL. So if anybody overlooks anybody or when everybody says, oh, that team's terrible, none of us were in the NFL, and I've known guys that I've obviously been around guys and interviewed, but met people that have been and they weren't starters, and you look at them and you're like, damn, how's that guy not a starter? But again, it's the NFL, and the fact that Doug Peterson did this just makes me sick to my stomach. And I got a lot of text during the game too. Lastly, Eric, people saying, oh, well, I didn't see you talking too much about Pittsburgh not playing Roethlisberger. It didn't affect anybody else. Like, okay, it kind of affected Miami, but I think Buffalo took care of that, right? With a 30-point blasting of Miami.
Yeah, Buffalo did what they were supposed to do. This is
right.
But let me get
Pittsburgh not starting anybody. That's my point. Pittsburgh not starting those guys, and they all still almost won the game.
Right.
Didn't affect Miami. Buffalo kicked the ever-lap out of Miami. So I said there's a big difference in that. I go, now if Buffalo would have rested everybody and they wanted Miami to get in for some reason, then if you're Baltimore and whoever, you can have your issues. But it annoys me. Even when the Cowboys have done it, I think when the Cowboys have done it too, not to be kidding me. You are not trying to win right now. And that's what annoys me.
Mike, I got two guys here I definitely want to get in that I need to
Yeah.
apologize to. So please hang out for a minute really quick. So let me get my man Ty Ray from the Say What, Say It Again podcast. Let me get him in here. And let me get my man, Mr. Michael Lyle Jr. Gentlemen, to both of you, let me first say I humbly apologize for not doing what I know my team is capable of doing, which is very simply win a damn football game. Michael, as a Giants fan, again, sir, I apologize to you. I don't know what the hell my team was doing tonight. I don't know what Doug Peterson was thinking by pulling Jalen Hurts when we were only down by 3. I don't know what he was thinking when they didn't kick the field goal and at least tie the game up 17-17 and make this more of a matchup, which it already was. I'm just going to continually apologize to you, sir, because I predicted after my team was pretty much in the toilet this year that the one team that everybody should have been rooting for was the Giants. I did not believe in Dallas, never have, never will. And I just did not see Washington with Alex Smith being under center or Dwayne Haskins being able to get it done this year with Ron Rivera. So I'll let you two gentlemen say your piece. Y'all can hang around if you want after the fact, but this is my apology tour. I guess I'm gonna have to go on all the Giants fans, but I'll let you two gentlemen speak on it.
You go. Well,
I'll go first if you want. I mean,
go ahead.
Listen, first off, we accept your apology, Eric, but let me just put it bluntly right now as a Giants fan. We should have not been put in this position in the first place. I mean, clearly, you want to go back in the hands of time, that first match between you and our boys, Evan Ingram, who once again has had a problem catching balls all season long for us. He makes that catch in the first game against you guys. We're probably not even having this conversation right now because that would have been a game that we won, would have ramped the clock, and then that would have been a division win for us. That would have been one against you, and then, of course, we won the second matchup. But the Giants really hurt themselves by putting themselves in this position. I mean, after that spiritual win against Seattle 3 weeks ago, they go on a 3-game losing streak. They had 2 winnable games against Arizona and Cleveland. They both losses. I mean, I didn't really think they had a snowball's chance, to beat Baltimore last week in Baltimore against Lamar Jackson. But the Giants have no one to blame but themselves for putting themselves in this position because clearly, if they would have done their job early on in the season, we're not even talking about the fact they needed help from your boys tonight to get into the postseason. They did their job today, and they almost blew that game. So again, another drop there. Evan Ingram making some not so great plays, not catching the ball. But listen, it's nice that we finished the season with a win over a Dallas team that's going nowhere, obviously, and it was great. But I don't even think that I would have been really too happy tonight, even if the Giants did get into the playoffs, because they got to play against Tom Brady next week. And it doesn't matter
but
Brady
listen,
being held.
Listen, Brady plays well in cold weather, but I don't know if the rest of that Buccaneers team could come play in cold weather. So that's why I'm saying, Ty, go ahead and get in, man. Please go ahead, and I'm gonna bring Mike back in too. Here, let me bring Mike back in. Go ahead, Ty.
For me, man, I think I've been saying it probably since like week 8. I think the best team that was in that division won. They got the best quarterback that's healthy right now. Washington football team and Alex Smith. I mean, you can say what you want to say about him, but I mean, you can say he's checked down. Alex, you can say whatever you want to say, but I mean, I think he's better than Jalen Hurts at this point in his career. I think he's better than Andy Dalton for sure. And I also think he's better than Daniel Jones at this point in his career. But I mean, it wasn't that much of a surprise to me that it came down. I mean, I don't know what the heck Philly was doing, like taking Jalen Hurts out. It's almost like they were throwing the game, and I think that's crazy. But like I said about 4 weeks ago, football season been over for me. Go Lakers.
That's right. Now the basketball season's been gone. Go next for 3-3 right now. We got some good whistle for it. So I'm with you on that one.
Hey, Michael, I want to apologize too because Eric knows and he loves to rip the Cowboys. I'm a lifelong Cowboys fan. I'm from Jersey, but I met Tom Landry twice. Long story short, I'm a lifelong Cowboys fan, and I apologize. And I don't know if you hear me say that. From the Giants, I am breaking down the last 5 years of film against Philly. I know every guy's twerks, twitch, everything. Because if they only win 2 games next year, I hope it's by 50 over the Eagles. Because in all honesty, if the Cowboys would have did this, because Chris Collinsworth brought up, as much as it was kind of in jest, Chris Collinsworth brought up a great thing, guys. He goes, could you imagine? He goes, if Dallas would have won and Philly done this, the amount of just like demise and hatred, like fan-wise, like website-wise, whatever. But that's the thing. Having a lot of cousins that are Giants fans, yes, of course, I always want to beat the Giants, but I do not nearly have the disdain for the Giants as I do for both of these teams playing right now. But yeah, I mean, and you're right. You have to win games, and we talked about all year. Division's terrible, but they played the hardest all year and complete hardest. And yeah, I agree with you, Ty. I mean, I don't think Daniel Jones is where Alex Smith and everybody that always says, I say this to everybody that says check down Alex. Why don't you call Tom Brady check down Tom Brady? Because that's what he did in New England. And everybody ripped on Alex Smith for doing the same thing and never throwing interceptions. But when Tom Brady did it, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But either way, it is a bummer. The division was terrible. You need to win games. But I'm with Eric, man. Tom Brady can play in cold weather. But if it looks like Washington is obviously going to win this, but when he gets hit in the mouth for the first time next week from either Chase Young or Montez or Kerrigan, he is going to be crying like a little baby because we saw what Aaron Donald did to him. We saw what that Saints defensive line did to him. And Eric knows I respect what he's done in his career, but I can't stand him. He's the biggest crybaby. So I literally hope – I can't believe I'm saying this because I'd much rather would have been Leonard Williams beating the crap out of him, like Leonard Williams beat the crap out of the Dallas Carter varsity JV line today. I would love to have seen Leonard Williams do that, but it's frustrating because I can't.
This is horrible. This is horrible. I don't even know why I'm watching this. I'm watching this because I'm a fan and because there's 6 seconds left.
It's a great storyline for Alex Smith, though. You break your leg. You have all the. I mean, it's a great storyline.
I love those guys, but I can't stand that team or that franchise.
I will gladly focus on that for this moment right now and say to you, you know what? I am happy that a man beat cancer and is able to still be the head coach of a National Football League team, and now is taking his comeback player of the year, in my opinion, in Alex Smith. And they get to host now the Bucs next week. So I will take a moment and definitely recognize that. I am just so I'm telling guys, I'm done. I'm fuck Philly. I'm done with Philly this year.
Hey, you know what? Okay? Maybe you should coach next year, Eric. Maybe they should hire you as a head coach.
Oh,
I have to tell you, I don't listen to Philly sports talk radio as much, but I have to listen tonight to see what the hell their fans are, what you all say, because I don't know what the life, like you said. You had a chance to tie the game at 17 all, a chip shot field goal, but you go for a 4th down. Then you take out your best quarterback right now, Jalen Hurts, and substituting for this Nate Sutfield guy. I'm like, what are you blatantly just tanking away this game? That's what it seems like. America's seeing this and thinking,
here's the thing: did you guys
taking the game away?
Michael, did you see that graphic they put up though? If they would have won tonight, since they can't go to the playoffs, they would have had the 9th pick. Now that they lost, they go up 3 spots and they have the 6th pick. So everybody in Philly right, but fans in Philly last week are probably like, just lose, get a higher pick. Not that they'd ever admit it. But
I can't blame them. What you think you're gonna do with Wentz? $60 million in guaranteed money.
He needs to go. All this talk.
I told you send him to San Fran. We'll take him right now.
I'm sorry, Mike, Ty. Let me get Alex in here real quick, because I know Alex will have a whole bunch of words for me. And so is my man Joe Carlino's.
Boy, hey, what's up,
Ty? If you want Carson Wentz, please take him off our hands. Y'all can have him.
I look at it like this: he's better than Jimmy G. He's better than CJ Beathard, and he's better than, I don't even want to name the last guy because he's terrible.
Nick Mullins?
Yeah, Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins is trash. I hate to say it, but he's not good at all.
And he beat the Cardinals.
He did, but
look, I got a whole squad up in here tonight. Thank you all, gentlemen, for joining me. Let me real quick introduce everybody for everybody who is watching this. Of course, you got Alex Fleming, Florida Sun Review, host of the Carousel, does a Magic Perspective with me. We'll be doing the Raptors tomorrow. Ty Ray from the Say What Say It Again podcast every Tuesday night live on Facebook. Professor Michael Lyle Jr. of Quinnipiac University, huge member of the National Association of Black Journalists. I got Michael Caratanudo from the Believe in the Pac-12 podcast, and joining us, Joe Carlino from the DNTS. Is that correct?
Downtown Sports Network, Eric, DTSN. You got
DTSN. DTSN talks nothing but Falcons. So, gentlemen, I'm going to let Alex have his moment because he's been waiting all season to dig into me on this one about this. And I'm going to have to sit here and take it like a man. So, Alex Fleming, sir, go ahead, brother.
First and foremost, I want to say hi to Joe. How do you like my prediction now? We talked about this, back in May? I said 4-12 about those Falcons, and I tried to think about your feeling to be 5-11. I should have stuck with 4-12. That team's garbage. Mike, how you doing? Nice to see you. Professor, thank you for joining. Tyree, my dog. Eric Wilson. Philadelphia Eagles. Where do I begin? This is
I'm a Giants fan right now, guys, so just know I am very unhappy right now.
Philadelphia
Very unhappy
pulls
Giants fan
Jalen
right
Hurts,
now.
the
Very.
best thing that happened to them, for Nate Sudfeld. They might as well just say, you know what? Give me that Cash App deposit, and I'm just gonna give the game away because we're not gonna make the postseason anyway. Your offensive line looked defeated after the second time Sudfeld just gave the ball away. Bro, you passed up on Justin Jefferson, Jared Jeudy, and other wide receivers for a punt return and kick return specialist in Jalen Reagor. But the year before that, you passed up on DK Metcalf. Year before that, you passed up on A.J. Brown. Your front office are a bunch of bozos. Bro, your defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, he doesn't need to take a year off. He needs to retire because he brought that Detroit mentality to your Philadelphia Eagles secondary and front line. If it wasn't for your front line, you would have been embarrassed all season. The fact that you're wearing a Philadelphia Eagles jersey lets me know that you probably have COVID. You need to be tested.
Wow. Wow, brutal.
Well, wait, Eric,
Love it.
hold on. I got to get you. Alex, that was solid. That was solid. I loved it. But, Alex, now you have to be tested because the Browns are in the playoffs. The Cleveland Browns are in the playoffs.
Good point.
Alex,
They're not going to make any noise.
Wow.
Alex, I'm going to say this real quick. After hearing what you just said about the Eagles, I don't know if it's, an Eagles thing. I don't know if it's a Bucks thing. I don't know if it's a Falcons thing, or if you just hate birds in general, bird teams, because you reamed into me and now you're reaming into Eric.
That's
I like
Twitter
Baltimore.
handle.
No, listen, let me clarify. He does love Baltimore, and he gives Kyler Murray all the respect in the world alongside with Russell Wilson. It's just you and I, Joe. It's our teams. Alex, let me say this, and this is my only retort that I have to what you just said, and I will sit there and gladly take this like a man. My only retort in this is I was born an Eagles fan, and I will die an Eagles fan. You will never, ever have to question my loyalty, good, bad, or indifferent. I will take my lumps when they are well-deserving, such as tonight. But 3 years ago, when we were on a run like nobody's business, I wanted all the smoke because I was dealing with everybody. With the good comes the bad, and I got to take both. But, Jarrell, let me get you in here, man. So much for joining me here on the Sports Arena tonight. I got the entire gang,
thank
y'all.
you, man.
And let me just say this before I go any further. Gentlemen, you always all have a standing invitation. Anytime you want to jump on, please feel free. But, Jarrell, I'm going to go to you, my brother. Let me hear it from you tonight. No, let me get Jarrell and I'll come back to you.
No. I was going to say that Eagles jersey gave me diarrhea. I'll be back in 10-15 minutes.
Goodbye, Alex. Goodbye. Get his ass out of there. Jarrell, go ahead, brother. I know I got to hear it from you as well, sir. Oh, this is hard.
No, where we at, man? I jumped on late. Where we at? Please let me know where we at.
Listen, I'm giving everybody the floor to tell me how bad my team is tonight. That's exactly what I'm doing.
In all fairness,
I like.
I'll let Jarrell go first, and then I'll say what.
No. Go ahead. No, go finish up, please.
I mean, in all fairness, I'm on that same boat with everybody else. Like, why? What did Hurts do that? Like, was he hurt or something? Did he get like an injury or something? Because I don't know what happened there. I mean, yeah, it was, I mean, I give him credit for being aggressive there on that 4th down play. Because, I mean, in all fairness, it kind of would have worked. I mean, at the end there was just a bad throw. It was just short. But I don't know what happened after that. Why bring in Sudfeld? Because basically he did what Skip Bayless said Patrick Mahomes did in the Super Bowl. He threw a punt that was picked off, and then a botched snap off of his knee, and that led to a turnover. Like 2 possessions, 2 turnovers. I don't know why he stayed in the game.
I don't know either.
Tag. Come on, brother. You know how they doing wrestling. Tag me in, brother.
Go ahead, bro. Please. Floor is yours.
Hey, Doug Peterson. So I get it now. It didn't make sense at first. I get it. I totally did. I totally get it. Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz need to double team Doug Peterson and drop kick him in the face. That was just bad coaching, man. That was horrible coaching. What it was he just gave the Washington football team the opportunity to slide into the playoffs. Hurts was doing great. He had a chance to win. He was making accurate throws. He was doing awesome, man. Why would you take him out for a third string quarterback that cannot complete anything?
I don't know.
They gave it away.
No answer because
Eric, let me say this to you. Because I'm in the same boat. So obviously, I mean, my Super Bowl was last week, as you took it like a man last week, and I didn't give you too hard of a time because I knew this week was huge. When the Cowboys ended the Eagles' hope at the playoffs, that was beautiful for me. That being said, I'm telling you right now, because you know I can't stand the defensive coordinator, and I'm not calling him by name ever again. I'm not. I know. I don't hate anybody, but if I saw him, I would be that childish fan that punched him in the face. I swear to you. If he is back next year as a Cowboys defensive coordinator, and you whoever wants to, if you get together every week that they play a division opponent, I will wear the division opponent's jersey. Every week that the worthless, crappy piece of defensive coordinator is still employed by the Cowboys, I will wear. I mean, if you send me an Eagles jersey, I will wear it on the Cowboys game. We can stream it live, and I will do it.
I will never do that to you. Just because I got way too much respect for you. I have more respect for you right now, Mike, as a Cowboys fan, than I do for my blessed team. I'm just saying, Jim Schwartz needs to go. Doug Peterson needs to go.
Doug Peterson, he bought the city a championship.
Ty, you don't.
I mean, I'm just saying, he like Jason Pitts. He bought the city a championship.
You don't bring the city. You don't bring the city a championship. And put the product out there that you just put out there this season. Okay, that's what I'm saying too.
But Eric, let's be real. Now, okay. I get you want to blame someone on Doug Peterson. He does deserve some of the blame, but unless he's the GM, he doesn't deserve all the blame.
No, Howie deserves blame too.
Because some of what Alex said is very true. You could have went out and got a Justin Jefferson who broke Randy Moss's record today for most yards by Vikings receiver in their rookie season. So, I mean,
but Ty, real quick, do you know whose rookie record he broke though? And nobody gets this, and I actually knew it because I live here. Anquan Bolden.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Anquan Bolden was the man. That's all I got to say. But sorry, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so to me, it's kind of similar to Green Bay in the sense of you could be drafting people to help your quarterback or whoever you got. I mean, is Carson Wentz the best quarterback in the world? No.
Not even close.
Is he better than a lot of other quarterbacks that are currently starting in the NFL? Yes. Would I take him on my team? Yes. Do I think Jalen Hurts is better at this point in time? I think the team plays better around Jalen Hurts, but I just don't think there's a lot around them. So you need someone like Jalen Hurts that can make things happen.
I thought it was a great pickup, though. You needed that because of the instability with Wentz.
I mean, no. I'm not faulting that, Jarrell. But what I'm saying is you get Rager when you could have got someone better than him. Because I think Justin Jefferson is better. I just think it's a lot of different things you could have tried to do. Like the defense is pretty decent. I mean, I would probably do something with probably another DB, but that front seven is pretty good. I mean, they have one of the best front sevens to me.
Question.
Sure.
Could you build around Jalen Hurts? I say yes.
Yes,
but that $60 million is going to hurt you.
Jarrell, I'll say the same thing to you on your question that I said to Eric, because Eric knows that when the Eagles drafted Wentz, I have quite a few friends in Dallas that do media, and they were saying that the Cowboys were on the phone was it whatever with the Titans or whoever to go up to number 2 because Jerry Jones wanted Carson Wentz for the offense at the time with Jason Garrett. And watching him play at North Dakota, I mean, one thing that Eric and I have always said, and I mean, all you guys know too, you can't coach 6'5" and you can't coach a cannon arm. Like, you just can't. So, I mean, do I see it in Carson Wentz? Yes. And when everybody, and like I say, I won't mention every single quarterback, but when certain quarterbacks and players like if certain quarterbacks had offensive lines like the Cowboys and the Eagles had all year long with all those different starting combinations, those quarterbacks and those teams would get a pass. The Cowboys, they deserve it because Jerry Jones doesn't shut his mouth. Eric knows how I feel about that. But with Carson Wentz, it's one of those things where, and I even said, if you're the Eagles and you're Howie is to blame because you drafted a dude in the second round when Eric knows they had more needs. And yeah, Ty, I'm with you on Justin Jefferson. Alex and I were all over that because we wanted the Cowboys to take Justin Jefferson instead of CeeDee Lamb. The only thing I give advantage to CeeDee Lamb is when he lined up in the slot in college, which Jefferson really didn't. You're not going to cover CeeDee Lamb with a linebacker if he's in the slot. So
I really wanted us to get Jared Judy instead of getting the defensive lineman that we got. So I understand.
Hold on, wait, Ty, your team is San Fran, right?
Yeah,
you got Brandon Ayuk, man. Ayuk's gonna be.
I don't have an issue with Ayuk, but I think over the long run, I think Jared Judy is better.
Ty, you can always rip on the Cowboys, but I'm not saying you do, but Eric knows. You start ripping on some of my Sun Devils, you better have damn good cause because and Eric knows when we did the draft show, I said we were doing our draft preview, and I said at number 13 because I didn't think the Jets would go D line. I thought it was going to go like Oakland or Jets receiver, Oakland receiver, Niners receiver, and at 13 I said Brandon Ayuk is perfect for Kyle Shanahan. I can't stand it, but it's going to happen. And then when they traded out, I was bummed. But then when they took him at 25, I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, I just think for us, we got a lot of possession. Well, I don't know, man. I would love someone with some big playability. Honestly,
I think
Deebo Samuel when he's healthy is.
I thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. But I do want to switch gears here because now the playoffs are officially set up, and I kind of want to dive into them just a little bit on each one. So let's first off. And I'm just trying to pull them up. Okay, so the first game, right out the gate, we start with the Colts at Buffalo. Yo, this is going to be – you want to talk about starting wild card weekend off with a barn burner?
I don't know about that.
Joe, let me ask you, man, what are your thoughts on this game? See, Ty, you say that, but let me just say this real quick, Joe. I think this is the Colts are my sleeper team, man. I'm telling you right now. I'm upset that they got the Bills first.
Yeah, I just feel like my opinion. I know I'm jumping out of turn. I just feel like Josh Allen and them and Diggs is on a roll, man. Like I mean, we did a quarterback tier. You got your tier. Your tier one is your Patrick Mahomes and you guys like that. I had a hard time not putting Josh Allen in that tier one. I just couldn't do it because of longevity. But I mean, skill wise, he's there, man, for me. But go ahead, Joe.
Joe, give me your thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, going off of what you just said, Eric. I mean, you said that the Colts are your sleeper team. I'm actually gonna go with a different team in the AFC. I'm gonna say Cleveland's the sleeper team. If they can get past Pittsburgh, now granted today, and I've had a couple Steelers friends that have been like, they beat our backups by 2 points. I mean, like Rob Parker says, sports is a short menu, wins and losses. Did the Browns win? Yes. Are they in the playoffs for the first time since 2002? Yes. So I'm actually going to say the Browns are my sleeper pick in the AFC. But getting back to the Colts and the Bills, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is incredible. Like, he is just another animal in itself. Really, Wisconsin – he did good over there in Wisconsin, and he has just really contributed over there. And then Phillip Rivers, I think he's the one that's nicknamed the Ageless Wonder right now, right? If I'm not mistaken, 37, 38.
30, no, he's 39, man.
He's 39. Yeah, he's 2 years older than me.
Wow, I didn't know he was 39.
39, and with a third of his age being all of the kids that he has in his family.
Pretty much.
But I mean, they got a good offense. They got a good defense. I mean, but my thing is, I really think Buffalo is going to win this game because right now Buffalo's a buzzsaw. Like, I really don't see any reason why Buffalo does not win this game because Josh Allen is just going off right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the last two games, if I'm not mistaken, because they played Denver on Saturday. That was a game they won the AFC East, and they scored 49, I think, was that game. And then they scored 56 on the Dolphins, who needed to win to get into the playoffs.
Right.
And they put 56 on them. I mean, I'm no mathematician, but I would think 100 points in 2 consecutive weeks, just about give or take 100 points. That is a recipe for some explosion in a playoff game.
No, you're
And
right.
Joe, to
right.
fire back at your Pittsburgh friends that were saying the 2 points. Those are the same kind, because Eric knows I can't stand the Steelers. Those are the same Pittsburgh fans last year that were barking at everybody, even though they weren't in the playoffs, because Mike Tomlin did a hell of a job. They went 8-8 with a quarterback duck at one point, and they went 8-8, and they're talking trash to everybody else in the AFC because they're like, we had nobody, we had no quarterback, all these injuries, and we still went 8-8. So those are the same Steelers fans that are saying, "Oh, well, you beat our backup guys." When last year they're like, our backup guys could beat you. Yeah. So I just had to vent that to you.
No, that's fine. So
no,
Ty,
that's perfect. I get that, Michael. I mean that's the thing with like me being an Atlanta diehard. I mean, you could see it in the background. You see my Falcons banner, and like Eric, I'm an Atlanta fan. Win, lose, or tie, I don't care what happens in the game. I mean, I watched them get 44 points put up on them by Tampa. I mean, I watched them last week. I still can't wrap my head around how they only held the Chiefs to 17 in Arrowhead, no less.
Yeah, that's the crazy part about that. I have no clue. But Ty, let me go to you on this next matchup, because since you're the NFC West guy out here, now you got to watch the Rams and the Seahawks. Bruh, I don't got no faith. I'm telling you right now, I ain't got no faith in golf. So for me, this is an easy win.
Yeah, it's an easy one for me.
Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, though, that Jalen Ramsey DK Metcalf matchup is one that I'm excited to watch. I'm just curious who's gonna. It's the chess match between those two, because we know what Russ is gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good matchup, but you still got Lockett on the other side that caught 100 plus balls this year. So I mean, it's not like they got DK and that's it. I mean, then their running backs catch out the backfield. I think for Seattle, man, and the one thing I've noticed when I watched them play this year, they have to really establish the run. If they can establish the run, I think they could beat. I think they can go all the way to the Super Bowl, honestly. But I think it's two things that come into factor. I think is them establishing the run, and that defense is terrible. They do have some playmakers. I mean, Jamal Adams and in their middle linebacker, but I don't know.
Bobby
man.
Wagner.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner. But I mean, I just feel like I picked them to be in the Super Bowl this year, but I don't really know at this point.
Okay,
Ty, I'll say it like this: obviously being here in Phoenix, and the Cardinals gave it away. But I'll say this: the two teams I think that kind of vomited in their mouth the most with the Cardinals losing today were the Saints and the Bucks, because you put that Rams defensive line, they're going to keep them in every single game. Like, yeah. And like Eric and I have talked about this before, like there's nobody in the world that can block Aaron Donald. I'm sorry, you might contain it for like one-on-one. It's not happening, as we all know. But like, and it started from week one, and I got so many text memes sent when Aaron Donald literally picked Ezekiel Elliott up and threw him out of the way to get to. Yeah, see, I was laughing too, Jarrell, because I'm like, how can you not? Like, he just picked a grown man up, and it's not like Ezekiel Elliott's like a little kid that weighs like 90 pounds. Zeke's like 220, and Aaron Donald just went, "Thank you, and have a nice day." But
yeah, I think pound for pound, he's easily the strongest person in the NFL.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And the line, I mean, he gets doubled and triple teamed, and all those guys are going to light it up. So you're right. Their defensive line will come in, but I'm with Eric too. I mean, McVay calls a good game, and we saw, I mean, they beat him today with a quarterback that never took one NFL snap, no Cooper Kupp. But again, when you have that defensive line, because I'm all about, I know it shocks, well, Eric knows, but it shocks you guys. I'm all about defense. I hate the rules favoring the offense every single time. That being said, that defensive line will keep them in every game. But it's a division rival to your point, Ty. So again, there's not too many tweaks that these teams can make. That this is the third time they're going to see each other. And if Goff does play, yes, obviously it gives the Rams a much better chance. But man, I see Seattle winning, but not going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I just
go ahead, bro.
Good. I just look at it from the point of view of when it's two teams I look at the quarterback, man, and I feel like Russell Wilson. I don't trust any quarterback in the NFC probably more than I trust him. Maybe Brady. Maybe it's debatable because
Aaron Rodgers
with those weapons. I forgot about Aaron Rodgers, but yeah, Aaron Rodgers too. But I mean, Russell Wilson to me is I don't know. I trust him, and I feel like he'll make the right decisions.
Hey, look, I watched Seattle all year, right? And like you said, their defense is going to – well, not like you said, but I think their defense is going to be the determining factor. They are a momentum defense. I've seen them ball out depending on how the game is played. So it depends on what kind of mind state they're in. I think that could be the determining factor on how far they go in the whole playoffs because Adams is showtime. But he is the head and the just the energy for the rest of that defense. On the other side, like you said, Aaron Donald and the Rams defense, they're going to do what they do. They're going to do it. Goff, I'm with you. Goff I'm not sold on Goff. But can we go back for a minute? I don't think us as NFL fans give Philip freaking Rivers enough respect on who he is as a quarterback, man. And that's why I think
I will be the first, Jarrell, to say this. I have been overly critical of him. I have said there have been in my opinion, two overpaid quarterbacks and two prima donnas when it came to that position. I said Philip Rivers was one, and I said Matthew Stafford was the other. Those were my two. But now he's in Indiana under Frank Reich, and I have had to take a step back and say, okay, you have a golden opportunity right now to do something you've never done. That's not only get to an AFC championship game, but possibly win it. Here is my reasons. Number one, his glass ceiling has always been, I can't beat Tom Brady in January. When he was with the Chargers, no matter what he did throughout the regular season, it was all about the postseason. Well, now you're in Indiana. Now you're under Frank Reich, who I personally love Frank Reich. Please, Frank Reich, come back to Philadelphia and kick Doug Peterson the hell out of here. But that's
Doug Peterson not going nowhere, man.
I know. But Philip Rivers, that Colts defense is probably, in my opinion right now, in the top 4 of defenses in the NFL right now.
You said who? The Colts defense?
The Colts defense. The defensive side of the ball, not the offensive side of the ball.
I was just thinking.
Because as Alex and I always say, Philip Rivers will either shoot you in games or he'll shoot you out of games. So I agree with you. We need to give him some respect. But I have to see him do something, especially against these Bills. Alex, okay, I'm glad you're back because I want to ask you a real quick question. I need your pick on something. We're going over the wild card weekend games, and we've been through the first 2 already. I already know your thoughts about the Colts and the Bills, Rams and the Seahawks. I think you're I don't know where you're at with that. But Alex, if I had to give you one of these next 3, that I'm going to give you your moment, do you want the Bucs in Washington? Do you want El Freaky and the Titans, or do you want your Bears and the New Orleans Saints?
Oh, that's so mean because 2 of them I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about Chicago. Jump me back in for the Tampa and Washington one. I'll take El Freaky in Tennessee.
Okay, well then, all right, give us a moment. So then, Mike, since
I had something to say about the whole Seattle Rams thing, though.
All right, real quick, but then I want to jump to the rest of the guys. Go ahead.
People don't seem to realize that Seattle defense has gotten a hell of a lot better since the first 6 weeks. They acquired Jamal Adams because they needed a safety, and that helped out a little bit until he went out with injury. They got Carlos Dunlap from Cincinnati. He's been plugging up the middle because teams aren't rushing like they used to. There hasn't been a 100-yard rusher since, Jeff Wilson a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, they've been shutting down that run game where it hasn't been that bad. Brooks, the rookie from Texas Tech, KJ Wright, Bobby Wagner, the linebacker core is solid. That defense is bend but don't break. And you know what? I don't see anybody checking DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Ramsey's going to be stuck on DK. That's a good matchup. Lockett and Wilson are on a different level. I expect Seattle to have no issues with a no Goff, no Cup Los Angeles Rams club.
Okay. All
That's
right.
pretty
So
much
then,
what I said.
That's
too.
a solid point, man.
all right. So then I'll take the team that is hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers since they just did beat my team to secure that victory. And listen, as I said earlier, Tom Brady is used to playoff appearances. Rob Gronkowski is used to playoff appearances. Okay. Antonio Brown is used to playoff appearances. The rest of that Buccaneer squad, with the exception of maybe JPP on the defensive side of the ball, they've never been in this position. And in primetime matchups this season, they went 1-4. They had a hard time beating the Giants on Monday night because that was the matchup that, yes, I wanted. I wanted to see Tom Brady come into the Meadowlands and thoroughly beat up on the Giants if that was possible because I wasn't giving them a chance to do it in the first place. Tampa's 11-5. First time in 13 years they're in the postseason. Congratulations. But don't let the moment get too big for you. Washington, in my opinion, is playing with house money. They don't have a winning record. The comeback player of the year we know is basically a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest if he get hit the wrong way. And I don't want that to happen, but let's call facts with facts. Okay? You've got Terry McLaurin. You've got McKissick. You've got this Logan came out of nowhere. I didn't even know this guy's name until probably week 12. And so now Washington has the opportunity to dethrone the GOAT. I would love to see it happen. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm telling you this right now. Chase Young was the best man in the draft, this last draft class, and has proven it this year. Between him and Montez Sweat, if they get a handle on Brady, it's going to be a wrap. Tampa, you have tried to put yourself in the best position possible. I truly hope next Saturday night when we watch this game that the 2,000-yard receivers and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin come to show up. I hope the rookie Scotty Miller in the slot is going to have a hell of a game. The security blanket that is Rob Gronkowski can go out there and have a Gronk fight. And I hope Tom Brady is Tom Brady. But if you open the door and let Washington even give them the slightest, I'm telling you, it's going to be something that we're all going to be shocked to see. I'm just
Three things to that.
Are you done?
3 things to that, Eric. 3 things to that. Mike Evans, is Mike Evans even going to be able to play?
That actually is something. Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times, Eric and Alex probably know of him.
Yeah,
he did report that the MRI showed no ligament damage. It's just a hyperextension. So
hyperextended leg, bro. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, being able to walk and being fine or cut and run patterns, as you know, are two different things. I know you're not saying that. That being said, hey, what did they struggle with? 5, great. Beat up by the Saints defensive line twice. Beat up by the Bears defensive line. Yes, Mitch Trubisky's a quarterback. I know, Alex. And hey, I'm glad your Bears fell into the playoffs because the Cardinals didn't deserve to get there since they couldn't beat a team without a quarterback that never took a snap in the NFL. They get beat up by defensive lines. Again, he gets hit by those two guys more than once, that ball's going to start to float. That's all I'm going to say. And Ron Rivera is the type of coach that has a toughness that can do it. Will it happen? I don't know.
I just got one question about Tom Brady.
Sure.
Has he or how many times has he ever lost in the wild card?
Thank you.
Once.
I don't.
It was last year, Tennessee.
Hey.
Once.
Forget all that.
I mean, I'm just
saying,
man. I don't see that with them weapons.
What did Tennessee's defensive line do? What can Washington's defensive line do? Eric or Alex, you've been talking about their defensive line all year. They can absolutely crush that offensive line.
Fellas, did y'all see the game tonight?
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Did y'all see the game tonight?
Did we see what game tonight?
Are we talking about Washington football team or the Washington Football Club? I don't care what Tampa Bay has going on. As long as their defense is sustainable, the offense is not going to be able to do anything in Washington.
That was against that sorry Philly offense, though. Come on, man.
Brother, they have no quarterback.
Can
they
I
have no quarterback.
Tampa Bay does, though.
Please let me in.
Go
Please
ahead,
let me
That's what I'm saying.
For the love
Could
of
you
God,
put
please let me
could you
in.
put your hand down, please? This ain't third
Okay.
grade.
Guys, for the love of God, I wrote not one but two articles on this.
Jesus.
Let me go to the oldest one. One, too many mouths to feed. We're not going to miss Mike Evans. He might be able to take the day
Exactly.
or week off.
Exactly.
Why? Because Antonio Brown's been heating up. That was in the
Thank you.
recent one that I just wrote. Antonio Brown is a matchup nightmare. He's usually matched up against the second or third cornerback. When Evans went out and he was matched up with the first cornerback, he had not one but two touchdowns on 127
Thank
yards.
you.
Nice and
Yes.
quiet like. So please don't give me this whole Washington defense
Hey,
thing. Number two,
Alex.
they played the Washington football team. They play them. They've already played the Saints twice. They played the Bears, which I do believe have ferocious linebackers. You know what Washington doesn't have? Ferocious linebackers. You get that pass pressure and that run pressure, that's all right. That's what screens are for. That's why they got Leonard Fournette. They got Ronald Jones, too. Guys, Cameron Brate, Rob Gronkowski, Evans,
All right.
Godwin, AB, Rojo, Fournette. Because Washington can't score like that. They ain't about that, boss.
Nah,
They don't want that
Washington
smoke.
Right,
I
they
don't even know
can't
why the
score
hell
like
they wasting
that.
time on the Washington
Thank
football
you,
team.
Alex.
Congratulations on making the playoffs. You're getting
What does
done.
Bruce
You're winning
Arians?
this.
Alex,
What does Bruce Arians want to do?
interject.
What's been the complaint? What's been the complaint the whole year about Bruce Arians? Guess what? You can't hit a receiver if you're on your back. And you've been hyping up Chase Young all year long, who's going to
Because
be
he's
the
the predator.
defensive
He's good.
Yeah, he's going to be the defensive rookie of the year, as he should be. And when he crushes Tom Brady into the turf, you can't throw the ball when your back's in the ground. That's all. I'm not saying they don't beat him, but don't tell me that defensive line can't beat the crap out of that offensive line. When the
You
Bears
should write
did,
books
the
about
Saints
some of
did.
the fantasies that you have, guys. It really should, because it'd be bestsellers.
What did the Bears
Al-
do? What did the Saints do? It's not a fantasy. It's fact. It's on tape.
And Alex, I do want to interject on this. You did watch the game today, correct? You did watch our game?
A very sloppy football game. Oh, you mean Atlanta, Tampa? Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
watched your sorry Falcons. Yeah.
That's more than fair. Very, very well. To the victor go the spoils. You said Antonio Brown had 2 touchdowns today, correct?
Yeah.
Who were those 2 touchdowns on? Because it was not on A.J. Terrell that gave up those touchdowns. The first one, he stole the touchdown from Scotty Miller after Ricardo Allen got that he fell down. But that's all I think. The other one, he was fighting with Isaiah Oliver, and then he just broke free and went up the sideline. A.J. Terrell
I'll answer your question with a question. Did A.J. Terrell give up the first touchdown to Mike Evans? Was that a yes or no? Number
Mike
2.
Evans didn't have it. Mike Evans did not have a touchdown today.
No,
Mike Evans
he had almost 100
should have
yards
had a
before he went out with the
touchdown before he
hyperextended
got
leg.
hyperextension.
Number 2,
The
why the
first
hell did
touchdown
Oliver
was a
on Antonio
mismatch
Brown?
on Oluwakan, which was a perfectly timed ball by Brady, which I give him much credit for. That was a very good throw in a tight window because Oluwakan was locked up on Godwin, even though it's a mismatch, a linebacker on a wide receiver, especially a wide receiver as good as Godwin. I'm not going to deny that. Godwin is a hell of a receiver.
I'm waiting on you to make a point, bro. Your whole entire defense is trash.
I'm making a point. I'm making a point.
Antonio Brown. You get no pass rush. Dante Fowler is stealing money. You're going to get rid of Matt Ryan. You need to pick up Justin Fields. I don't want to hear from any dead bird. Please.
Okay. Hey, look, Tampa Bay has a bye just like
Alex, on Saturday, here's my thing for you. If and when Brady goes down by Chase Young, Montez Sweat, and that defensive front, I don't want to see any of these flying from the referees to protect a 43-year-old. I don't want to see none of these.
You don't have to worry about it, bro.
Roughing the passer like we saw in the Lions Vikings game today. Because
I don't think you have to worry about it, man.
Roughing the passer.
All right.
Okay.
Gentlemen,
hey, Alex, to your point, I'll one-up you. It doesn't – we can talk about the NFC. Guess what? Because whoever wins the AFC, the Chiefs or the Bills, is winning the Super Bowl.
Okay, so let's move on to the rest of these games here, guys. Yo, like I said, standing invitation, because I love this. Y'all are great. Thank you so much. Alex Fleming, Florida Sun Review, Ty Ray, say it again. Jarrell's Journal, make sure you check him out. Joe Carlino, the Downtown Sports Network. He does the Falcons. My man Michael Caratanudo, Believe in the Pac-12, all joining your man Eric Wilson here tonight on the Sports Arena. So, Alex, go ahead, brother. El Freaky versus King Henry. Talk to me about this one, bro. Talk to us, please.
Last year, everybody was riding the Baltimore Ravens. They were 14-2. Silky smooth. They were feeling themselves. And Tennessee came inside their house and embarrassed them. How a year changes things. King Henry had 250 yards rushing today. Congratulations, 7.4 yards average. I'm not knocking that. Did you see what the Baltimore Ravens did against the Cincinnati Bengals? 400. That's not a typo. 404 yards rushing. Now, I don't give a damn what team you are. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Tennessee Titans, the Buffalo Bills. When you have 404 yards rushing, that tells me two things. One, they can't stop the run. Two, time of possession. El Freaky was a 100-yard runner. J.K. Dobbins had 160 yards. Hell, old-ass Mark Ingram even got into the mix with Gus the Bus Edwards. You beat the Tennessee Titans by keeping the ball away from Tannehill and King Henry. Two, he threw for 3 touchdown passes today. All right, so all these people saying that Lamar Jackson's a glorified running back, y'all need to shut the hell up. He done proved you wrong not once but twice this season. As far as Tennessee is concerned, they're wearing out King Henry. I understand he's got a lot of tread on those tires, but if I know that if I can stop King Henry and everything else around me gets easier, I'm going to focus on my point on Derrick Henry. Look for Ryan Tannehill to try to complement and implement Corey Davis and A.J. Brown into the offense because they can't rely on Henry. Last year, they were embarrassed. Earl Thomas was looking like he was trying to block for him. He's gone. They got some tacklers in the building because they got embarrassed. All right? Real talk. Okay. I expect the Baltimore Ravens to get revenge on Tennessee for embarrassing them last year and for beating them in the regular season and overtime this year.
So, all right, I just want to make one point. You didn't bring up Jonnu Smith.
No.
Okay. You're not seeing him. You're not seeing him as a factor. That's all I'm asking.
You know why I don't bring up Jonnu Smith? Because all this media attention was on Chase Young at the combine. We were both there. You know what the media attention wasn't on? Patrick Queen, the LSU linebacker that's a standout and is second in tackles on the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, and guess what? He also drops back in coverage. Patrick Queen is going to keep Jonnu Smith nice and quiet. Look at baby. He might have 3 catches. Okay, yeah, he's not getting that end zone. Okay. He ain't getting that end zone, boss.
I had to ask.
Mike Vrabel to be clever. Use some people that you probably never heard of, like Fursker and all these other cats. They're missing Isaiah Wynn. They're missing Taylor Lewan. What does that tell me? With the addition of Calais Campbell and Yannick Ngakoue? Pass, rush, run, stop. Focus on Henry. Be 50-50 with A.J. Brown because he's a monster. I would stick Humphrey on him. Peters is a head case. Stick him on Corey Davis. And when you get the football, matriculate the ball down the field like you did against the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on to the Bears versus the Saints. Jarrell. So, Alex, this is his hometown team, and he always speaks mediocre about him. Some days he's on, some days he's off, but he keeps it real with his Bears. We saw what that Saints defense did today against the Carolina Panthers. Granted, divisional matchup, but I mean, the fact that the Saints defense has been the stronghold this year, I think is going to play. I think this is going to be a defensive matchup between these two teams, in my opinion. Jarrell, what say you?
Oh man, the first of all, the Bears they're liking Matt Trubisky again, huh? They like him now, huh?
It really is amazing with that, isn't it, Jarrell? How one week you could like really hate a quarterback, and then the next week he comes out, plays lights out, and it's like,
and then he wins 3 in a row.
And he wins 3 in a row. I think I really don't know what to say about this game. I think the Saints are going to win easily. This is just it's just another game, man. This ain't the year for y'all. But I do like. I've always liked Trubisky. I will say that. I don't think he's horrible. I've always liked him. Defense, you know what I'm saying? They all right. Offense, they've been struggling very heavy this year. The running game is not there. You got your running backs are really hurt. It just ain't y'all here.
And we don't know what the status is going to be for all the running backs. Kamara and Latavius Murray should be cleared to play as long as they pass protocol on Sunday. So, this team is going to be pretty much at full strength. So, all right. So Ty, then I'm going to come to you with this then. Bears and Saints, man, what are you watching in this game? Because on the offensive side of the ball, we already know the Saints are going to dominate. If Drees is playing, he's trusting himself to pass to Emmanuel Sanders more. As Alex says, you can't guard Michael Thomas. Taysom Hill is that Swiss Army knife. If the running backs come back and play, that's just going to open this up for Drew Brees all day long.
Hey, look,
go ahead.
I'll reserve my opinion about can't guard Michael Thomas because that joker was on my fantasy team. He ain't give me nothing this year. He guarded himself by being hurt. That's all I'm saying. But You know, shout
Personal
out
issues.
I'm just saying, shout out to David Montgomery. He got me a lot of points on my fantasy team. But now, I think it's the Saints, man. I think, for the most part of the year, I probably say the better part of the year, the Saints have been the best team in the NFC until of late with the Green Bay Packers. But I think it's the Saints. I think the one thing the Bears probably could do is run the football, but the Saints have a very good run defense, so I don't think that'll happen. So I think, Drew Brees, what can I say?
Yeah.
You know, people
Okay,
say
question.
Go ahead.
Jason Hill was walked out. Is he hurt, or I didn't get a report on him?
I don't know. Am I here? No one. Okay, I'm sure we'll find out tomorrow, guys. I don't want to keep y'all. We got about 4 minutes left. Mike, go ahead, and then I want to do one more ball into the last game.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say real quick with the Bears. I think like what you're saying with Trubisky. I don't think he's as bad as everyone says. He has his moments. Maybe it's Matt Nagy, but the Bears, it's like with the Packers. The Bears can keep it close for a little bit with the Saints, but there's going to be a turnover, and then unless that Bears defense generates more turnovers somehow, which I don't see happening, but the Saints will slide away in the end, in my opinion. But the Bears, look, when you have a defensive line and linebackers that can't get pressure, but they can't cover speedsters, which the Packers took those mismatches today. But I think the Saints win, but it'll be interesting. At least the Bears are back in the playoffs.
This is true.
If I can say one last thing about that,
please.
If the Bears are going to be able to pull off the upset against New Orleans, which I also don't think is going to happen, I do think New Orleans is going to win this game. It's going to be because of one underlying factor. The Saints don't really have the Superdome advantage.
True. Very true. They don't have it. So, all right. So let's get to the last game. This is a game that Alex and I, and Mike knows this because we do the show every Monday night. Alex and I got into an argument about it. He called the Cleveland Browns not relevant. And him and I had a discussion about it. And I said, you can't call a 9-3 team, which they were at that time, not relevant. But facts are facts. Cleveland has made their way into the postseason for the first time in 18 years. Who do they face? Not only the same team that they faced today, not only an AFC North divisional opponent, but their big brother in essence. Now, granted, Ben didn't play. Several key factors, several key players did not play today. However, you're now going into Heinz Field. It's yet a third time go round for this team. So I'm going to give Alex the second to last word. I'm going to take the last word on this one.
Okay.
But I'm going to give each of you gentlemen about a minute to speak your case on who you think is going to win and why. So, Jarrell, I'm going to start with you. Cleveland Steelers. Sir, who do you think is going to win and why?
Can y'all see me clearly?
Yes, sir.
We can see.
We got you.
Alex, man, I love your mind because it makes sense. They're non-factors. They made it to the playoffs. Congratulations. I really like Baker Mayfield. He's managing the game, not making a lot of turnovers. He looks good. Landry is a stud, and I like him without Odell, to be honest with you. Without Odell. But the mere fact is they're playing the Steelers. It's a stronger team, has way more weapons, offensive and defensively. It's better coach. They're going to lose. It's going to 34-17.
Wow, don't even need the full time. Okay, fine. Mr. Carlino, I'm going to go to you, sir. Steelers, Browns, who do you like and why?
Well, I'm also going to go off of Jarrell. Alex, I got a lot of respect for you, man. I enjoyed our conversations, and I also enjoy, being a part of this sports arena, helping out, coming in and talking with you guys because you all are very knowledgeable, very wise gentlemen, all of you. But when you went to the bathroom because you couldn't stand the sight of Midnight Green on Eric, I actually said that the Browns are my sleeper pick in the AFC. So I'm actually going to say the 6-seeded Browns are going to upset the Steelers 27-21, and it's going to be because Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are going to run through that Steelers defense for 175 combined yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow. All right. Mr. Carrotanudo from Believe in the Pac-12. Steelers, Browns, sir. Who you got?
Well, Alex, I'll jump on the train too. I like you and I respect you, but I was with Eric. I love you and I respect you, but I was with Eric. You can't use the word relevant because they're in the playoffs and they are. And for everything you just said about Baltimore, well, guess what? They got 2 running backs too. Chubb and Hunt can dominate any defense if they get the blocking. And the Browns line has been blocking. I agree. Guys didn't play today. And before you jumped on, I was just talking about how Steelers fans always talk out of both sides of their mouth. Because last year they were 8-8 and they were talking crap to everybody because they had a quarterback named Duck that ended the season. Okay, well now you're in the playoffs. But I am going to take the Browns to win 1 game. Of your points about Baltimore, which I 100% agree with, because I said it to you before. Everybody says the game changes, right? Every coach says if you can't run the ball and you can't stop the run in the playoffs, guess what? You're losing. Browns run the ball, keep it longer. They win the game 21-17.
Mr. Ty Ray from the Say It Again podcast, sir. Who you like in this matchup?
I'm perplexed about this game. And the reason why is because of this. The Steelers can't run the football for some reason. I don't know what the heck happened. But all of a sudden, they just can't run the football. They have this little 5-yard, everything is short, throw it offense. Dante Johnson dropping the football. I don't understand that either. They got a lot of injuries on defense. But then I look at Cleveland. I do not trust Baker Mayfield. Regardless of what y'all say, I just don't trust him. It's just something about him. I just don't trust him. I like Chubbs. I like Hunt. I don't know, man. I probably have to go Pittsburgh, but I don't. 34-17. I most definitely do not see Pittsburgh putting up 34 points, Jarrell. So I don't know about that part. But
and look, Claypool too. Claypool's gonna be a factor.
Claypool's playing. I'm not Claypool. I thought you was talking about somebody else. Okay,
Rookie.
Claypool. But I think it'll be Pittsburgh 14-10.
Wow, low scoring game on that
Defensive game right there.
Okay, Mr. Fleming, this comes down to you and I. So, gentlemen, I'm a bring all of y'all out, but please stick around because after this we can all chime up after the show. But Mr. Fleming and I need to have our one-on-one because this is something that he and I have talked about all season long. So if y'all will please excuse us for a moment. But before I let y'all go, let me make sure I give my shout-outs here. Jarrell Heslip, Jarrell's Journal. Make sure y'all check him out whenever this man goes live because he's got so many great, talented people on his show, and he's got big things in the work with Jarrell's Consulting Podcast. Mr. Joe Carlino from the Downtown Sports Network talking all things Atlanta, especially his Atlanta Falcons and everything NFC South. Much love to you, brother. Thank you so much for being part of the show tonight. Michael Caratanudo, Believe in the Pac-12 podcast. Also, Arizona State University. I got to say his Sun Devils are doing big things in the NFL. Love them and appreciate them. Much love to both of you, sir. We'll definitely talk soon. As always, I love you. Hate you, Cowboys. And, of course, Mr. Tyrus Ray from the Say It Again podcast. Every Tuesday night, make sure you check him and the crew out. I'm still waiting on Avery to jump on here. I got him the invitation, but I guess he didn't want to come on. I gave him the chance to yell at me, but he didn't want to.
He said he had too many crown drinks.
Okay. All right. That's my dog, but I'm going to get to him. But all right, we'll talk in a minute. So, Mr. Fleming, brother, you and I started this back in March, April before COVID, and we were talking. So let's go ahead and wrap this up, sir. As we do on the carousel, I'm going to give you your 39. I'm going to give you a minute, and I'm going to take mine. I know where you're going, and you know where I'm going. Let's just do what we do best, brother. Floor is yours.
I predicted this back in April, May, that this is going to benefit the Browns and they were going to make the playoffs. They're not relevant because against the Baltimore Ravens, they couldn't stop the run. Against Pittsburgh in the first matchup, they couldn't stop the pass. Juju Smith-Schuster actually shows up against Cleveland. Deontay Johnson is a speed freak. They don't have enough corners. Denzel Ward can only cover one of them. Chase Claypool had 2 touchdowns the last time they met when everybody was actually playing. I don't even count this damn game because Ben Roethlisberger didn't play. Pittsburgh's missing Bud Dupree and Devin Bush. If they had Bud Dupree and Devin Bush, this wouldn't even be a conversation. The fact that they don't have them is why this is a conversation. I don't trust Baker Mayfield in the playoffs because he's never been there before. And another reason I don't trust Baker Mayfield, he's erratic. The Jets have shown that if you hit him, he starts acting funny. Pittsburgh, at home, this was a focus. A year ago, people wanted Tomlin fired. He wants his revenge. He gets rid of the garbage known as the dog pound. I think they win 24-10. I don't want to hear from Cleveland because until you do something in the last 18 years, you're about as relevant as the Detroit Lions.
All right. So you and I have talked, like we said, since March, April. And for all the points that you brought up, sir, you're very relevant. And as always, your mind thinks very much like mine does when it comes to this. But the one thing I've said about Cleveland is on paper, they are a team that should be a 10-6, 11-5 team. Well, this year they actually showed it. And they were without their number one guy in Odell Beckham Jr. So this team, for me, has shown me on the offensive side of the ball that with the addition of Kareem Hunt, who only played half the season because he was suspended the first half, you add in Nick Chubb. Now you've got Jarvis Landry. You've also got Austin Hooper, who you brought in, who people seem to just really forget about. They brought him up from Atlanta. So you're right, Alex. The biggest thing has been Baker Mayfield. And I have gone on record saying I don't trust this young man. But what I will tell you is this. The confidence that I saw in him today, granted, it was against a tier B, if you will, Pittsburgh Steelers, says to me that he's on course to do something. I am predicting the upset. It's going to be a close game, 28-27. But Baker Mayfield's going to get that team past the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here on the Sports Arena. Again, thank you to everybody who jumped on tonight. Michael Lyle Jr., Michael Caratanudo, Ty Ray, Alex Fleming, Jarrell Heslip, Joe Carlino, the entire crowd. Much love. Your man, Eric Wilson. I will definitely talk to y'all soon. Everyone have a great night. Peace.